I just saved one of my clients $90,000 in savings just by making a quick phone call to the real estate agent. If you want to find out how, watch this. Now let's start off with my little 5-step process in order to try and lock in a contract. This is my own personal 5-step process. Follow those 5 steps. Every time clients try to jump to the end, it doesn't work. We've got to work our way back to the first step. First step is ordering an RP data valuation report. So we do have access to CoreLogic RP data. It's the first thing that real estate agents do as well when they're looking at estimating what price they can get for a client. So that RP data report has an estimated value, and right underneath it has a confidence scale going from low to high confidence. Now, I always say to my clients, start off by ordering that report before you even go to an open home on Saturday. It's always a good starting point, because if that valuation comes in, let's just say $300,000 above your pre-approval amount, well, then there's probably no point wasting your time going in on a Saturday morning, right? If you see on that confidence scale that there's a very high confidence for that estimated value, I would take that value very seriously. If you see anything less than a high confidence val, then I'd normally just take it with a grain of salt. Move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is inspect the property. Make sure you actually love it. Walk through the property. The first time I bought a property, I got a little butterfly effect. I was like, I can't imagine myself living in this property. I'm starting to get excited. If you walk through the property and you're like, there's problems here and there, and I can't imagine myself relaxing on the couch in front of the TV or in the kitchen, well then you're not going to progress on to step 3 of this process. You're going to go back to step 1 and continuing ordering property reports to find that right property. Now, if step number 2 is a tick and you loving the property, move on to step number 3. Step number 3 is actually have a conversation with the real estate agents. Don't be shy. They love to talk. Hi, I like this property. Can you please give me some guidance on property price? The next question you should ask a real estate agent is, when do offers close? Because when you walk in on a Saturday, ask the question, because you don't want to put in an offer straight away on that particular day. You want to find out, when do offers close? Because they might say it closes 5 p.m. on Tuesday. So you want to make sure that you do put in an offer before that closing time. Steps 1 to 3 are all sounding really promising, and it's all sounding like it's within your pre-approval budget. You're loving the property. You've spoken to the agent. It seems like the stars are aligning. Move on to step 4. Nice and simple. Just request the real estate agent to email through, or they might even send you a link or give you the piece of paper at the open home. It's what's called an expression of interest. An expression of interest which is separate to a contract to sell. So this one's less formal, and it's just to voice your offer, just to see if they're willing to take it. Now, if you are interested in seeing what an expression of interest looks like, just put some comments below and I'll create a new video and we can run through that together. So once we've got that blank piece of paper, my 5th step is to get in touch with me, or get in touch with your broker and basically say, hey, I've done steps 1 to 4. It's all looking really good. Can you please help me? And that's normally when I jump in. I call the client and we have a discussion. Normally my questions are, how did you go with the real estate agent? What did they say? When do offers close? What did the property report say? What is the estimate on that one? Is it a high confidence valuation or a medium confidence valuation? So start to get an understanding. Then once that's done, that's when I normally like to do a bit of a cheeky phone call to the real estate agent. And as I said before, I did save one of my clients $90,000 just by simply calling the real estate agent. They came into a meeting for a pre-approval and they said, hey, we're going to put an offer down for 1.8 million. And I said, where'd you get that number from? And they said, that seems to be the median price in the suburb. What I did was I said, let me call the real estate agent. Clients are freaking out a little bit. They're like, this isn't normal for a mortgage broker. Called up the real estate agent, I introduced myself and I said, hey, I'm Costa from Mad Loans. I'm a mortgage broker looking after my beautiful clients, X, Y, and Z. They're all pre-approved, ready to rock and roll. Okay, that's when the real estate agent starts to think, all right, so brokers supporting them, they're not mucking around, they've got their finance in order. The likeliness of this falling apart is very minimal because the broker themselves is calling and giving us the confidence that finance is not going to be an issue. Now, I asked the real estate agent the question, hey, where do you think this price is going to fall? Do you reckon it's going to crack the 1.7? I just made it up. And the real estate agent said, look, this one's starting to move closer to the 1.75 or above. And I said to them, look, I don't know if we're going to be able to push for that based off my numbers. I'll have to have a discussion with my clients. We're more so looking around to the 1.7 or just above. And she said, look, can you at least get close to 1.725? As soon as she said that, I was like, it's game on. We're negotiating now. We're playing the game because they're playing the game as well. So I said to them, you know what? No, we can't push as high as that. We might be able to squeeze 1.71. And it went a little bit quiet. And she came back to me after a few seconds and said, look, just put it down on paper. Let's see what we can do. I said, done. Thank you. Hanged up the phone. Told the clients, throw down the 1.71 and let's hold steady at that. And guess what? They secured the contract at 1.71 when they're about to put down 1.8. So that's the power of making a phone call. Whether it's me or the clients can always give a call to the real estate agent and ask similar questions. My favorite question to ask is this price going to crack a certain number? Is this price going to crack 1.7? They might give you, again, some golden nuggets and they might give you nothing, but it's definitely worth asking the question to try and figure out, okay, do we need to be above or below or how far above? It's always good to ask the real estate agent how many offers they also have on the property or how many contracts they have in place. Once we've had that conversation with the real estate agent and we've got a bit of a gauge on price or where we want to put it, then that's when I ask you, all right, where's the expression of interest form? I'll help you fill that out because obviously for somebody who's buying their first property, it can be a little bit confusing. And it's also good to ask your broker, how many days finance do you need? I'm going to do another video, basically what happens after you have sent through that expression of interest and it has been verbally accepted. Congratulations. Guys, if you've got any questions or like to leave any comments or want any particular videos for me to further expand on, please leave a comment below and we would love a like and a subscribe. See you soon.